So when you're ready, all right, I want you to stand for me, nothing besides just you. You could actually, if you want to, put your stuff on top of your chair so you don't have to bend down, because we're not going to sit. We have that stuff on the chair just so we could grab it and so you don't trip over. So feel free to put your weights on top of your chair. So I'm going to go over some shoulders, some postural awareness first before we pick up the weights. So chances are when you were driving in the car and you're sitting, we've done a lot of this lately, right? So I want you to think about taking your shoulders. I want you to round them forward, up, back, and down. Now hold it right here. So I want you to think about this the entire time of a nice long back without doing this. Let's do that again. So shoulders up, round, back, and down. Hold it. And if you want to turn yourself, so then you see that you're not crouching your shoulders forward, all right? And they're kind of in the back pockets. So think of if your ear is over the shoulder, your shoulder over the hip, and the hip over the ankle, right? So this is not in the proper alignment. How is your ear? Is it right over the shoulder? Is the shoulder over the hip? And is the hip over the ankle? Good, you got that? Good, I want you to pick up one heavy weight first for a row, just one weight. Possibly you're heavy. I'm gonna grab an 8. You might wanna grab a 7 or whatever you have. This is a large muscle group. I want you to come and face me and with your chair in front of you. Good. So come off to the side, to that side. Good. Let's put, you guys put your weight in the left hand. You guys put your weight in the right hand so you could see yourself in the mirror. So I want you to take this hand that you're not working and I want you to just hold the chair, put your hand on it, and I want you to lengthen the arm nice and long. Now your tummy is nice and tight, and how are your shoulder blades? So you're not rounding this, so look at yourself in the mirror, back is long. So good, already better, because I saw this, and now straighten it right here. Slight bend in the hand that's on the chair. I want you to take that weight, and I want you to pull right to the ribs and back down. So I want you to squeeze and back down again. Pull with the hand close and release again. If it's too much on your back, this is what you could do. I could come here and put my hand here. In case you're too much in a flexion of the spine with your hand here, then put your hand here. All right, let's pull it for 8. Get your elbow tight. 7, I'll stand up in a second, all right? And we'll face the front. 6, so you could take a different look from yourself from the front. 5, how's your back? Make sure it's long. 4, keep the body still. Beautiful, pull. 3, crack an egg between the shoulder blades. Give me 2 more. 2, good, last one. 1, stand up nice and tall and face the front. Good. Keep that weight in that right arm for me. So now I want you to give me a hip hinge from this direction. I want you to take that leg that was holding the weight straight back. And I want you to place this hand that's not using the weight on the quad. Now look at yourself in the front mirror. Bring your hand back and your elbow should be tight. So you're not out here, in tight, much better. And back down. Do it again. So this is from a side front preview, right? How's your elbow? Straight back, and you can't see the elbow, so not out wide. Come in again. Good. Do it again. Better. Right to the hip. Pull. Look at yourself in the mirror again. 7, get the elbow tight. Look straight ahead. 6, beautiful. Give me 5 more. 5, how's the back? Is it nice and long again? 4, we'll go back to postural awareness in a second. Elbow tighter. 3. Good. Last 2. 1 more. Pull. Good. Stand up nice and tall. Beautiful. Let's come to the other side. All right, so you could see yourself from the side on this side here. Now, before we even tip from the hip, shoulder blades back and down. Are you going to do this when you bend, when you tip? No, you're going to keep the back long. Now that hand that you just worked either goes on the seat or here. If it hurts your back, too much down here, put your hand on the back part of the chair. Keep the back long, square your shoulders and your chest to the floor right now. You ready to pull that arm back? Pull back for a row and release. Good. Get it nice and tight. Squeeze and release. Squeeze. So make sure you give me a slight hip hinge, right? So you want to tip from the hip a little bit. Just tip a little bit forward with your chest. There you go. Nice. Pull for 8. Much better. 7, how's your back? Take a peek. 6, to make sure it's long and you're not rounding. Can you give me 5 more? 5. Good. 4, you are right. You are. You're doing wonderful. 3, yes, you are. Squeeze. 2. Last one. 1, stand up nice and tall, face the front. Give me a shoulder roll again. Stand up tall. Now, that leg, step it back. That doesn't have the weight. Give me a good, because this hand goes on the quad. So my weight is in the right hand. Yes, yes. I'm going to tip forward and I'm going to lengthen this arm that has the weight straight out, right? Look at yourself in the mirror. Good. Are you ready? So I want you to pull back and get your elbow nice and tight. Get it tight and release it back down. So we're not trying to do this, right? We're getting it in. Let it travel straight back, straight back. Good. Good. Right to the hip, right to your pants pocket. Pull again. Make sure the weight is in the frontal chain of the body. So we're not coming way back here, right? You want to keep it in the frontal chain of the body for 8. Good. Do it again. 7. We'll pick up both weights in a second. Do both arms. 6. Just learning. Get your elbow tight. 5. Look yourself in the front mirror. Good. 4. Good. 3. You got it. 2. Good. Last one. 1 and release. Lift the chest. Good. Shoulder roll. Now grab that other weight. Let's do it with 2 weights. Now, you could stand wherever you'd like. I don't care. Roll the shoulders in the back pockets. So are you going to take a peek to your sides, right and left, and stay forward? Yes. We're going to tip from the hip. We're going to lengthen both arms nice and long, and we're going to get the shoulder blades in the back pocket. So you're not doing this right away, right? Here, tummy tight. You ready? Pull both of your hands back right at the hips. Here, pull, elbows tight. Get your elbows tight. So look at yourself in the mirror again. Crack an egg between the shoulder blades, and the elbows need to come. Can your elbows touch each other behind the back? Let them touch. Pull. Good. Squeeze. Good. You look wonderful. Well, only give me 8 more, okay? Inhale and exhale. 6, how's your back again? Make sure it's long. 5, make sure you're not rounding and make sure you're tipping from the hip. 4. Last 2, ladies. 2, again, look at yourself in the mirror. Elbows travel back and get the elbows close. Last 1. Good. Release. So let's work the tricep. Actually, let's work the bicep first. Get out of the hip hinge. Grab 2 weights for biceps. Very simple. 2 weights. I'll grab my little ones because the 8s are too heavy for me since I have a bicep tear. So again, take your shoulders, round them in the back pockets. Knuckles are to the back wall and palms are forward. Lengthen. So I want you to make sure when you do a bicep curl, your elbows are not going to travel up here. They're going to be right directly underneath the shoulder. So let's go up slow. Take a peek in the left or right mirror on the side. How is your elbow? Is it directly right under the shoulder? It should be. Good. Squeeze it up and back down. Good. Squeeze up and back down. Right here. Good. So one long line, right, from the elbow to the shoulder. Right? We want to just fire on just the bicep. We don't want our elbow to come forward because we don't want to work the shoulder. And squeeze and release. So it doesn't need to be high. You should be able to see your shoulders a little bit in the front mirror, right? Give me 8 more. 8. Maybe turn if you need to, right? 7 to see that your elbow is right over the shoulder. Good. 6, 5. This is pretty simple. 4, but believe it or not, some people do it wrong. 2 more. Last one. 1, lengthen the arms nice and long, roll the shoulders in the back pockets. Now bring your balls, the weights, to the front for a hammer curl. So where are your elbows going to be? Right underneath the shoulders again. So give me a hammer curl. Come up. Now take a peek in the right or left mirror. How are your elbows? Are they directly underneath the shoulders? And you do right. Are they out too far? No. Are they back too far? Right on the shoulders. Good. You okay? Good. And come back down. Do it again. Squeeze for a hammer curl. And go back down. Good. Squeeze. And squeeze the biceps. So, Lisa, what's the difference between a hammer curl or a bicep curl? The hammer curl, you're firing on a little bit part of the forearm, right? And you're working the entire bicep from the bottom to the top. When we just did the bicep curl like this, we're just firing on this little ball of the muscle in the biceps. So you got a little bit more going on when you do the hammer curl. Squeeze. And wait, squeeze your biceps, not the weights. Squeeze your biceps. Yep. Squeeze right here. I even feel that. And release. Squeeze right here. Yeah, you look like you are. There you go. Good. And come down. Do it again. God, you look good. 5. Only 3 more. Watch your elbows. Make sure they're not starting to travel up, right? Make sure they're still pointed to the floor. 2. Only 1 more. And 1. Good. Release. Maybe keep those same weights or a little bit heavier for tricep kickbacks. Let's do one arm first. So I'm going to pick up my 8 just like I did with my rows. You might want to grab your 7 or 5, just one first. Before we do the exercise, put your weight down. I want you to give me, again, a hip hinge. I want you to take the elbows and I want you to come right here. And I want you to pin the elbows close and your hands are in a fist. Do not drop the elbows. Slide your hands straight back and come on down. Good. We're not using any weight just yet. We're getting it without the weights first, right? Squeeze. Don't drop the elbows. And back down. So you're squeezing the triceps up. We'll grab the weights in 1 second. Just going over the basics. 4. You got it. Good. So make sure you're in a slight hip hinge again, right? We want to fire on those triceps. How's your back? 2. It's not rounded here, right? It's long. Last one, we'll grab those weights. 1. Now that you got the basics without the weights, grab 1 weight. Put it in a right hand. Well, everybody start off right. Go back into the hip hinge. Get the right hand right next to your pocket. Get the elbow in. Make sure it's not spread out in here. Good. Just do anything with this left hand if you want to. You could step back here, right? And place this hand on the quad if you need to, if you're more comfortable there. Now slide that hand straight back. Push it back. And come back down. Do it again. Push it straight back. Good. Woo! I even see this little cut of the tricep. Good. You look wonderful. Squeeze. No, you look great. Good. Let's do 4 more. How is your wrists? 4. I'll go over the wrists in a second with you. Okay. Give me 3 more. 2. Last one. 1. And release. Put the weight down for a second. Now, go back to doing that same arm and look at your knuckle now. Your knuckle should be aligned with the forearm. When you come back straight back, did you start to do this with the wrist? You shouldn't. It should be right here and back in. So you're not bending the wrists Arm is nice and long, right? And release. Good. Let's switch to the other side. Grab the weight in the left hand. Now let's make sure that we don't bend that left wrist this time. So I'm going to step back, long left. I'm going to go into a slight hip hinge. I'm going to put my weight next to my pants pocket on the left side. I'm going to make sure I'm going to turn my elbow in and make sure it's not spread out to the side wall. Turn it in, hold it right here. You ready? Push that left hand straight back, and come back down. Again, now you're not trying to drop the elbow. And how's that feeling right there? Squeezing right behind the arm, right? Good. Now, how is the wrist? Are you starting to turn the wrist like this when you go back? If you are, put your thumb on the ball of the weight and make sure you're not bending the wrists. So keep the wrist strong. Good. Beautiful. 8. Good. 7, squeeze. Woo! 6. Good. Push it straight back. 5. Squeeze right there. 4 more. 4. We'll do both arms in a second. Last one, ladies. 1. Stand up nice and tall. Shoulder roll. Did you feel it behind? We are working the trapezius, right, and rear deltoids. We have a lot of stuff going on when we have the tricep kickbacks. Now grab that other weight, or if you want to drop down to a little bit lighter weight for both arms, go right ahead. First, let's put our thumbs on the balls of the weights so we don't break the wrists. Give me a slight hip hinge. Get the elbows back and put your hands right at your pants pockets. Now back is long. You're not doing this, right? You're keeping it long with the midsection brace. Push both hands straight back and come back again. Let's do it again. Good, wonderful. I love that you turned. Push. Remember, we're in a slight hip hinge. So make sure you're leaning. Can you give me 4 more like this? 4? That's what I like to hear. 3, think about the muscle you're working, right? 2. Good. 1, how about 4 more? What do you think? Oh, good, excellent. 4, nice strong ladies. I love that. 3, try to relax the neck. 2, last one. And 1, shoulder roll, beautiful. So grab your Dynaband. We're going to triceps again, maybe a little bit easier this time. You're going to put the Dynaband in the right hand, just like this. You're going to take in your right hand, you're going to place it on your left shoulder here. So my thumb is in, just like this. That's all. Just hold on to it, just like this. Good. Right here. Now I'm going to grab the tubing next to my right hand. I'm going to put my left elbow by my side. All right. Left elbow by your side. Good. To make it harder, you put your hands close together. To make it easier, put your hands further away from each other. Let's make it hard. So get your hands a little close together. Keep it right here. Push your left hand straight down the floor. Hold it. Squeeze that tricep right there and come back in. Good. So push down and release. Good. Push down and release. Good. Do it again. Push down. Do you feel it right there? Good. Nice. Over here. Push down and release. Push it straight down. Good. Keep the body still. Yep, that's all you're doing. 8, 7. Relax those shoulders. 6, give me a slight bend in the knee. Hip to support those legs. Shine your heart. 4. Good. Are you starting to feel it now? 3 feels good, doesn't it? 2. Last one. And 1. Good. Let's switch. So give it a little bit more resistance in the left hand, right? Put the left hand next to the right shoulder. Now grab it, the Dynaband close to the left hand, pushing the right arm down, get yourself adjusted here. So my elbow is back just a little bit, not here, elbow back just a tad, right? You ready? Push it down, go straight down and back up. Good. Straight down and release. Again, push down. Good. Focusing on just the tricep, right? When we did the tricep kickbacks, what happened? We worked all of this up here, right? We're not. You're just focusing on just the tricep here. Let's try 7 more. 7, elbow a hinge, right? The elbow is stable. 6, the only thing that's moving is from the hand to the elbow. From the elbow to the shoulder is stable. Give me 3 more. Ooh, last 2, ladies. 1 more. 1. Nice. Release. Pick up those 2 weights that we just did for the row and the kickbacks, because we're going to put those 2 moves together. Get rid of that just for a second. All right, just put it on top of your chair. Let's put those 2 moves together, the row and the kickback. So give me a slight hip hinge again, lengthen both of the arms nice and long, and roll the shoulders in the back pockets. You're not rounding the shoulders forward, you're getting them in the back pockets. So give me that row, hold it right here, get the elbows tight, push straight back, come back down and bring your arms long to the floor. Give me that row, elbows close, push your hands back, bring your hands back to your pants pockets and bring your arms down nice and long. So the row, the kickback, finish the kickback, and now lengthen the arms. Good. Pull back, push out, bring it down. Let's only do 8 more. What do you say? 8, tummy tight. Good. Nice. Slight bend in the knees. 7, you're in a slight hip hinge. Head align with your spine. 6, push. Don't worry if you're not with me. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Do we have 4 more in us? 4. Good. Finally, somebody talks to me. Right? Most people don't talk to me. 2. Woo. 1 more, ladies. Beautiful. And 1. Release. Put the weights down, grab your tubing and place it behind your back for chest. Sure. Yep. Extend. So you remember hip hinge, extend. So push out with a slight bend in the elbow. So you're never locking out your joints, right? Slight bend and then back in. Grab your Dynaband for chest. Place it behind your back underneath your armpits. Right here. And have it on your bra, not directly underneath your armpits. We don't want to fire on too much shoulders just yet. We will go to shoulders, but not just yet. So to make it harder, you would put your hands closer to the chest. To make it easier, I'd grab the Dynaband closer at the end to make it easier. You choose. Bring your arms up and your elbows should be a little bit below the shoulders. I want you to take both hands and I want you to reach to the front, slight bend in the elbows, look yourself in the mirror, shoulders away from the ears, extend those arms straight out and bring it back down. Good. Extend both arms straight out and back in. Push out and you should be able to see your shoulders in the mirror, right? Push your hands out. We don't want our hands above the shoulders just yet. Out and back in. Good. Push out. Now, if it's not hard enough, grab the tubing close to the chest. If it's too hard, grab the tubing towards the end. Let's try 8 more. What do you say? 8. Good. 7. Shoulders down. 6. Is your back long? Or are you doing this? 5. Last 4. 4, you should be feeling the front part of the shoulders. 3, that's a smaller muscle. That's why we're feeling it there first. 2, we'll do a shoulder roll on 1. Good. Release. Shoulder roll. Woo. So I know. So, okay, no problem. No problem. And you could go out that side door if you want to, okay? No problem. So grab the tubing a little bit, the dandelion band closer to the ends. Keep it behind your back, a little bit closer to the end. Bring your elbows up here, goalpost arms. So my elbows are about shoulder distance here. They're not way up here, nor they're their way down. Here, take your elbows and try to squeeze them in tight and back out. Beautiful. Squeeze it in and back out. Slight bend in the knees, squeeze in and out. You look wonderful. 8. Can you have the elbows touch each other? 7. I can't. 6. Woo! Nice job with this. 5. Don't stop. I'm on my max. 4. Are you starting to feel it yet? Feels good? Woo, nice. Last one. And release. Step on your Dynaband with one foot. Grab the Dynaband where the Dynaband is hanging out. So I don't want you to grab like this. I want your thumbs to the ceiling. Thumbs ceiling. We're going to work hammer curl. So thumb ceiling. Yes, perfect. So the tubing, the Dynaband is hanging front out of my thumbs. Stand up nice and tall. Chest is lifted. Keep your elbows by your side. Give me a slight bend in the knee. Roll the shoulders in the back pockets. How are you here? Not this, right? Here. Just give me a regular hammer curl. So bring both hands up. Hold it. Elbows to the floor. And come on back down. Again, squeeze those biceps and down. Good. Squeeze those biceps and down. How's this feeling? This feels good. That chest didn't feel good. Good. Do it again. Squeeze. Are your elbows starting to come forward, or are your elbows starting to come back? No, directly right on the shoulders. Let's try 8 more. What do you think? 8. Good. Turn again if you need to. 7 to the front to make sure the elbows are right over the shoulders. 6, and they're not coming forward. Do you have 5 more in you? Ooh, 4 more. 4. You guys are nice and strong. Love this. You are. 3. You really are. 2 more. 2. Ooh, last one. And 1, and release. Step forward and have the tubing behind your back. Just step both feet forward. Good, and tubing behind the back. So now the tubing is going to go right underneath the armpits because we're working shoulders this time. To make it easier, grab the tubing, the Dynaband closer to the end. To make it harder, grab the Dynaband closer to the shoulders. That will be harder. I'm going to make it nice and easy. I'm going to grab my hands at the end. Hands are here. Slide both arms up here. Stop and come back down. Good. Slide both hands up and back down. Up. Good. We're not going straight up. We're going on an angle first. We will go straight up in a second. So come on an angle and go back down. Good. Up. This is a little bit safer versus when we're going to go straight up to the ceiling. That's a little bit trickier. So if you have some shoulder injuries, you probably want to go here on an angle, not straight up. Let's do 4 more. 4. Then we'll just work one arm at a time. 3 if it gets too difficult. 2 and 1. Roll the shoulders in the back pockets. Shoulder roll. Both arms here. All right. Take your right arm, go straight up this time. and switch straight up, not an angle, but we're still in the frontal chain of the body. We're not going to the posterior chain, but we are going higher up. Good. This is much harder. Up and down. You feel the difference here? Yeah. Good. Reach up. Let's do it again. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Are we going to be able to do both arms? What do you think? 3. Woo! 2. 1. Let's go for it is right. Let's do both arms if we can for 4. 4. Do it again. 3. Oh, I know. Who said yes? Good. Last one. 1. And release. Put the tubing down. Now grab those weights for biceps again. Going to give the shoulders a break. We're going to go back to shoulders, but I want to work the biceps a little bit different this time. So grab 2 weights. This is a little bit easier for me. I'm going to grab my heavier weights this time. Feel free to maybe grab your heavier weights if you like. I think that you could do it. So don't be shy. We're going to start off knuckles to the side wall. Roll the shoulders in the back pockets. Slight bend in the knees. Hip to support those legs. You're going to come up from a hammer curl. Hold it right here. The elbows to the floor. Turn your knuckles to the floor and bring your arms down for a bicep curl. Now turn knuckles, that's called supination of the hand, come up for a hammer curl. Turn your knuckles to the floor and come back down. Knuckles to side wall, come up, hammer curl, elbows to the floor, turn and back down. Good. Let me take a look at you. Come up, hammer, turn, bicep curl. Feel the muscle in the bicep lengthening the way down. Come up, hammer, turn, feel the muscle working on the way down, right? Good. Do it again. Hammer, turn here, right here. You got it. And straight down. Good. You ready? Hammer. Good. Turn and down. How about 8 more? 8. Good. So this is a variation of the 2 exercises we just did, right? The hammer and the bicep. Take a peek in the side mirror again, or turn to make sure your elbows are not coming to the posterior chain, right? That's posterior chain, or the frontal chain. They're still staying directly underneath the shoulders. 4 more. 4. Good. Beautiful. 3. 2. Good. Last one. 1. Hold it down. Give me a shoulder roll. Start with a bicep curl and we'll turn the way up. So come up, bicep curl, turn, and now come down, hammer curl. Start with a bicep curl, right? Turn, hammer curl comes down. Good. Do it again. Bicep, turn, and hammer down. Good. Bicep. Good. You got it. You got it. Turn. Much better. Let's do 4 more only. 4. Turn. Last 3. 3. Watch your elbows. Make sure they're still right underneath the shoulders. 2. Make sure they're not coming up to the front. Last one. 1. And beautiful. Release. Get your lightest weights now for shoulders. Lightest weights. So just you guys know that when you came in, upper body this week, lower body next week. All right. So that's what we focus on this week is the upper body. All right. I didn't get a chance to tell you guys. So our lightest weight now, because we're working shoulders, we already worked some shoulders. Roll the shoulders in the back pockets. Give me a slight bend in the elbows. Arms are nice and long for a nice side raise. So be a slight bend in the elbow. So I want you to bring your arms out to the side. I want you to hold it right here. So your hands are not drooping, your elbows are not drooping, and your hands are not up, and come straight back down. So again, look at yourself in the mirror, come up. If your elbows are above the hands, that means the weights are too high. If your elbows are drooping, that means your weights are too heavy, right? So you want to start off nice and light, because a lot of times I see this with a front raise. And sometimes I see this with the front raise because people are struggling with too heavy of a weight. Good. Come up and back down. Let's do it again. To make the range of motion shorter, right? I would put my arms by my side and make smaller levers here to make it a little bit easier. Arms wider and longer would be harder. Let's try 4 more. 4, you look so good. 3. Good, not too high. 2. Last one. 1. Good. Release. Give me a shoulder roll. We'll go right to an upright row. So knuckles are forward for me. Knuckles forward. Roll the shoulders back and down. Pinch the shoulder blades together. Lengthen the arms. Have your hands in the frontal chain of the body this time, right next to your thighs. I want you to bring your elbows up high and wide. And my hands are right at mid-chest. My elbows are in the frontal chain of the body, not the posterior. Frontal chain. So slide your elbows a little forward for me and bring your arms straight down. Good. Come up with the elbows forward and back down. Now, if this hurts your shoulders, you only want to bring your hands up to the belly button, no higher. We actually only should come to mid-chest with the upright row and back down. So we shouldn't come way up here above mid-chest. Mid-chest is right here. We want to come up maybe here and back down. Go straight up with your elbows. You should look like a puppet on a string and back down. Good. Give me 8. Good. 7. 6. Good. Elbows up first. 5. Put 2 cinder blocks on the shoulders. 4, right? And that's what's forcing the shoulders to go back down into the floor. Where's your hands? Make sure they're below the elbows. Good. And release. Give me a shoulder roll. Going to go to rear delts. So I want you to give me a slight hip hinge again. I want you to lengthen the arms nice and long. Roll the shoulders to back pockets. And you're not rounding here, keeping the back long. Bring your elbows up high and wide and come back down. Elbows high and wide. Squeeze your upper back muscles and come back down. Good. Elbows in the frontal chain of the body, not posterior chain, right? Frontal chain. So here. Good. And release. Do it again. 8. Again. 7. Much better. I'll adjust you. 6. Don't stop. Slight hip hinge. 5. Elbows up first. 5. Good. Good. You got it. Oh, here. 4. Elbows up first. 4 right here. 4. Yep. So you want to tip forward. 3. Tip forward for me. Elbows up. Good. You got it. 2 more. 2. Woo. Are you feeling this? 1. You should. Good. Release. Stand up nice and tall and give me a shoulder roll. We're not done. Bring the balls of the weights forward for me. Stay right here with your arms nice and long. Bring both arms straight forward. Hold. You should be able to see your shoulders. Slight bend the elbows and come back down. Do it again. This is pretty simple, right? Come up, not too high, and back down. Now you're not coming here and bending the elbows, right? I'm lengthening with the slight bend in the elbows. Good. Go straight out with your arms. Straight out. Good. Perfect. Not too high, right? So when you take a peek in the front mirror, you could see your shoulders and back down. Let's do 4 more. 4. So you're working the front part of the shoulders. I have 3 more. Do you? Good. Last 2. 2. Last one. 1. Now we got all heads of the shoulders in right now. We got the front part when we did the front raise. We did the side raise, the medial delt, and we did the posterior. Let's do the rotator cuff. Put your elbows by your side. Hands are 90-90, and maybe turn to the side to make sure your elbows directly right on the shoulders here. So we want to be here with our hands or our elbows back here, here. Slide both of your hands straight out to the side wall. Hold it and back in. Good. Out and back in. Good. Out, down just a little bit and in. Good. Out. Keep your elbows by your side, only out as far as you could go. What's your range of motion? Do you have some issues in the rotator cuff? Maybe your range of motion is only here. If you can, maybe out further. I don't know how much range of motion you have in that rotator cuff. 8. Good. This is pretty basic. 7. You got it. 6. 5. Good. Hang on. 4. No, you look good. 4. Last 3. 3. Slight bend in the knees. Keep your elbows by your side. Don't let your elbows drift from your body. Last 1. 1. Good. Shoulder roll. Now, last movement. All right. We're almost done. Both of the weights are front. I want you to bring your arms straight up with that front raise. I want you to have your knuckles turn to the ceiling now. I want you to bring your arms out to the back posterior chain, hands back in, turn your knuckles, and bring your arms down. Come up, knuckles to floor, ceiling, bring your arms straight out, bring your thumbs in. Now your pinkies come down. Good. Front part of the shoulders here, back part of the shoulders here, back to the front, and back down to the front again. Let's try 4 more. Shoulders away from the ears. 4. I couldn't have asked for a stronger bunch of ladies. I'm serious. Really, it's unbelievable. 2 more if you can. Ooh, do we have 1 more? And then we're done. 1, are you at the breaking point? You should be about this point. Yes, with the shoulders. And release. Nice job. Put the weights in your chair. Good. Grab the hands behind the back to stretch out the front part of the shoulders. Did so great. Take your right arm, slide it across the body for an upper back stretch. So shoulder down, you're not here, shoulder down, good. And just slide it across, get a nice stretch, stay right here. And I want you to take the left ear and I want you to drop it to the left shoulder. How does that feel on that side here? It feels great in the neck. Good. Now I want you to take that, come forward with your head, bring your right hand back. With your left hand, grab your right wrist. Pull your right arm to the left and drop the left ear to the shoulder. How does that stretch feel here? Work feeling the stretch in the neck here. Good. Release the arm. Left arm across the chest. Left shoulder away from the ear. Hold right here. Good. Right hand, left hand is straight out, right? Drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Hold this stretch first. Come center with your head. Take your left hand, bring it behind your right hand, grab the left wrist. Pull your left arm to the right. Now drop your right ear to the right shoulder. I could tell you like this. Now you're finally smiling. Took all this time for you to smile. Good. Release the arm, come center. Tricep stretch right. Arm back here, possibly here or way up here if you can. If you can't do this stretch, basic stretches here. If you could pull the elbow back, then try to. It's okay. If you can't, you might not have enough range of motion in that right shoulder to come all the way back for that tricep stretch. Good. Let's just switch sides here. Here or here, right? What works for you there? Good. Bring both arms straight down, palms are back, chest lifted. Gonna see how your range of motion is with your shoulders for just a second. Grab your hands. Don't clasp your fingers together. Grab your fingers on one side. Bring your arms forward. Curve them back into letter C and extend those arms to the front mirror. You should feel the stretch in the upper back here. Does this feel great? Good. Release the arms. Lift the chest one more time. Arms back. Now, take your right arm back here again. Left hand, try to have the fingertips touch each other. Can they touch? I know. I know. Well, watch. So here I am on this side, right? I have a lot of range of motion on this right side. Bring both arms down. Left arm up. Now, can you touch on this side? I'm not even close on this side. This has to do with flexibility in the tricep and range of motion in the shoulder is what it is. You could actually work on this where you could eventually touch each other. Good. Release, shoulder roll. One more. And we're all set.